Well, let's turn now to Bangladesh. A court is due to deliver its verdict on the case of two prominent human rights activists. They face 10 years in prison after publishing a report a decade ago that accused security forces of extrajudicial killings targeting protesters. Al Jazeera's Tanvir Chaudhry is covering this story for us, and you're joining us from Dhaka, Tanvir. Tell us more about this trial, because we're talking about the leader of what was one of the most prominent human rights groups in Bangladesh.
Absolutely. Mr. Adilur Rahman Khan and the director, Mr. Nasruddin Elan, they're both charged and could possibly face between 7 to 10 years in prison. Now, what they're accused of is a story in 2013 when Bangladesh was going through a lot of political unrest. The government security forces cracked down on a madrasa-based Islamist platform organization that had a huge rally in beginning of May, first week of May, in the capital city. Between 400 to 500,000 people were there. Early morning, this crackdown took place. What the human rights organization did is published a report of the number of people of casualties after a week it happened, and also some images which the government said were distorted and tampered image. They didn't agree with the number. The government said only 11 people were killed, where the human rights organization said at least 61 people were killed, which is very much corroborated by the international U.S. human rights organization, which had 58 people killed. So the verdict is going to be out anytime soon. The judge is hearing out the case story background, telling the case people who are there, at least 50 people are present, even some journalists are present there. So, and also during that period, right before the 2014 election, there was a lot of violence. Hundreds of people were injured, at least hundreds of people were killed during those periods. So Odhikar has been pursuing that, as well as extrajudicial killing, rights violation, and forced disappearance. So they've been in the bad eye of the government, and hence this Information Communication Act 2006 that been used to charge them. And today we're going to know the final verdict. Cyril?
And Tanvir, there are key elections around the corner in Bangladesh, as well as regular protests in the run-up to those elections. What message does this trial send?
Yes, I mean, if the verdict finds them guilty, it will send out a chilling message to the rest of the civil society, human rights organization, as well as the media in general, because the government has come under criticism not only locally, but internationally for cracking down on media, civil society, and human rights organization, using what is new, the Cybersecurity Act, and even with defamation laws, fabricated stories made up by somebody, and then they'll say that you could be arrested without warrant. Some amendments been made in this new amendment, but if this verdict is handed out today and they're found guilty, this absolutely could have a chilling effect on the civil society, as I said, and the rights organization in Bangladesh ahead of the election.
All right, Tanvir Chaudhry is just before 2:30 p.m. local time in Dhaka. As soon as you get a verdict, you will let us know of any developments. Thank you very much, Tanvir.